Hey, what's good, everybody? I'd like to welcome you all to a brand new episode of the Boombox Guru. I'm your host, LB, and on today's show, we're going to be doing a review on the latest solo album by MC Mr. Lift called Don't Look Down. This album was released in 2016 on Mello Music Group, and this is his latest solo studio album. In between now and then, he has done several other projects that were more of collaborations. So this is his most recent solo album that he's done. Now, how this album really got on my radar was another YouTuber named Misanthropic One. He actually did an album review on Don't Look Down around 2016 when it came out. And his particular review actually sparked my interest to want to check out the record. I had heard of Mr. Lift prior to this album, but I had never really taken the time out to listen to him until I heard that review from Misanthropic One. So I went and on mellomusicgroup.com found the album and bought a physical copy. Came in the mail. I listened to it and I enjoyed it so much, man. Just a great record. This album has some really good boom bap beats, banging beats, man. Really awesome. Really cool East Coast vibe, man. I really like Mr. Liv's vocal delivery. I like his style. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Q-Tip. Not that he sounds like Q-Tip, but just a point of reference of how he sounds vocally as an MC, and just top notch lyricism, man. And he's so interesting, man, that when you hear him spit his lyrics, man, you want to hang on to each and every word to hear what he comes up with, man. He uses like these very interesting like alliterations and like really technically skilled, and he like lots of big words that he rhymes with, man. But he's also a great storyteller. There's a lot of great stories on here. One of the things that I really noticed about this particular album, Don't Look Down, is it seems to be a theme of like overcoming like hardships and so forth, man. That seems to be the big theme running through this whole entire album. It's definitely not like a sad record or anything, but I mean, just look at the album cover. He's looking up, and it's titled "Don't Look Down." So, you know, it goes along with that whole thing that people tell you, like when things are, when times are hard for you, to keep your head up, don't look down or so forth, man. But that seems to be the whole recurring theme on this record. Uh, a few songs in particular that I really enjoyed that really stood out to me. The first two songs, "Pounds of Pressure," which kicks off the record. What a great way to start an album off. I mean, as soon as that banging like boom bapish beat comes in, you get a few words by Mr. Lift, but then he goes in on the first verse. What I like so much about that song is that it's a story. He tells the story of a guy who's dating a young lady who's being stalked by this creepy guy. Like some guy that she meets at a park, and he starts showing up at her apartment, and he won't leave her alone. And her boyfriend, uh, who Mr. Lift is telling the story about, he actually confronts the guy about this, and he basically threatens him, tells him that, hey, you need to leave my girl alone, and things ain't gonna go so well for you. But he doesn't get the reaction that he was expecting. The guy doesn't seem to be bothered by what he tells him. He actually kind of smirks at him and then walks off, and that drives the main character into paranoia because that's not what he was expecting. And now he's questioning whether he should have done that. Was that the right approach to take? Because this guy wasn't scared. He wasn't intimidated by nothing that he said. And as the story progresses, this particular guy, he comes back to the girlfriend's apartment. At this time, the boyfriend, he's like living there now, trying to protect her, and he retaliates. The guy retaliates. It's him and I guess his crew. They come and they retaliate, and it stops at a point where the guy, he like jumps from a balcony because he's got a gun. He's actually done. It's just a whole crazy situation where people, like a shootout takes place, and then it goes to the next song, which is a more faster, more up tempo track that called "The Abyss." That it invokes that feeling of like your adrenaline pumping when you're in a sticky situation like this. And Mr. Lift, he's got this rapid fire flow that he's spitting, continuing the story. He's going into great detail about everything that's happening. Like the main character is actually coming out on the winning part on this. he's actually taking out some of the other crew guys that have been helping this guy. And as the story ends, he ends up being triumphant in the end. He ends up overcoming the situation. I think he ends up taking the guy out in the end, and he's triumphant. But those two songs, they pretty much go together as they tell a story. But the way that Mr. Lift really just broke that down and told that whole entire story in such great detail, it just amazed me, man. Uh, Another song on here is called "A Better Day," which is a more kind of mid-tempo, kind of slower type song. A great hook by a young lady named Erica D. And for the most part, it keeps going on along with that theme of like overcoming adversities, man, and just hoping for a better day, despite the way things may be going. You're hoping for a better day that's gonna come along. It's one of my favorites on here. Like a lot of times when I'm not in the best mood or something's really bothering me and getting me down, that's a really good song to listen to kind of like pump up your spirits a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's see, what's another track on her? Oh, Mission Accomplished, which features Acrobatic, another fellow MC from Boston, like Mr. Lift. They are a duo known as the Perceptionists, and just a wicked track right here, man. They just kill it, both of them. My favorite part of the song is I think it's the last verse where both of them are like going back and forth with each other, and they're finishing each other's lines. That is just so wicked because the way that they do it, it's just so amazing. You're sitting there listening to it, and you're like, how in the world were they able to do that so like smoothly? It was like they just did it so. It's almost as if they did it nonchalantly. If you get what I'm saying, like they really made it seem easy the way that they were just finishing each other's rhymes and going back and forth. Like, cause there's one part in the song, at least personally for me, where I had a hard time keeping up with who was who, because the way that they was going back and forth and finishing each other's rhymes, man, it was just so crazy. Let's see, World Renowned with Del the Funky Homo Sapien, another cool song between him and Del. Del the Funky Homo Sapien is one of the greatest MCs in hip hop. A member, maybe the de facto leader of the High Road, but I don't know. I don't know if he's the leader. I think all of them are the leaders, but anyway, man, just a great song between Mr. Lift and Del the Funky Homo Sapien. They both kill it on there. Then number 9 called "Ill." That's another one of my favorite songs, man. I really like the kind of slow kind of beat to it, and I really like the vocal approach that Mr. Lift employs on that record. It's kind of got like a got like a droggy type feel to it in some ways. The way he rhymes on it, but all in all, man, it's a very short album. It's only 10 songs on here, and most of the songs aren't extremely long. I think most of them don't go no further than maybe the 3-minute mark and maybe a few seconds. So it's a bit of a short album, quick and to the point, but it's a solid collection of songs that are really great. And like I said, man, it's just a very dope album that has that theme of like just overcoming your adversities and just searching for a better day. No pun intended, but that's in a nutshell. That's what this whole album seems to invoke, about just overcoming whatever obstacles are standing in your way. And I believe I read an interview, or I listened to an interview where Mr. Liv said that a lot of the music on this album and the lyrics were inspired by some things that he had been going through in his life, because there was like a big gap between this record and the last album he did. I think the last album he did was in 2009 prior to this, and this came out in 2016. So I believe he said that a lot of things that had happened in between that time and leading up to this record was a huge inspiration behind what went into him crafting this record, man. So I believe he said he was dealing with a lot of like adversities and things of that nature. So that's what inspired the whole theme that goes along with this record, man. But if you have never listened to this album, Don't Look Down at Mr. Liv, I highly recommend it, man. It's a dope hip hop album. I really dig it, man. I listen to it quite often. That's just how good it is. The only bad thing I have to say about this album, I just wish it was a little bit longer. But I think 10 tracks was probably the best. I think it was kind of short and to the point, but just a really great record, man. And solid production, great lyricism, man. definitely go and check this album out. I bought my copy from Mello Music Group, but I don't know if they still have physical copies on their website. I did see a copy of it on Amazon, but maybe you're not into physical copies. You can definitely stream it wherever you stream your music. Get a digital copy, man. But just a great record, man. So if you're somebody out there that's looking for some great hip hop music that's not like what's in the mainstream right now, you want something that's a little bit different, something that's got some really tight production and some really great lyricism, superb lyricism. I highly recommend that you check out "Don't Look Down" by Mr. Lift. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope this review will influence some of you guys to go check out Mr. Lift's music, because he's a dope MC. I also have his first studio album called I Phantom, which is a really great record. I highly recommend that one too if you want to check out more of his music outside of Don't Look Down. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you could do me a favor, hit that thumbs up and like the video to help get my video more exposure. Also hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified anytime I drop new content, as well as check out all my other videos. I have like tier list, discography breakdowns, other album reviews, and so forth. Check out those videos. Share the videos to anybody you think that may be interested in the content that I put down. And a big shout out to all my subscribers who are out there watching my videos and support me. I appreciate every last one of you. And as always, hope everybody has a blessed day, a blessed rest of the week, and love, peace, and music. Peace out.